Imagine if you could wake up as a completely different person. I'm not talking about improving your sleep. No, I'm talking, imagine if you could become a completely new person. A person who effortlessly achieves all your wildest goals. Imagine if this was to become your reality. This and way more is what you're gonna learn in this video. Why should you listen to me? Well, this is because that's what I did in my life. I can't recognize the way I am literally today compared to a few years ago or a year ago. I changed so much. And in this video, you're gonna find out how can you do this yourself, literally. Not only the theory, but also how to put this into practice. Let me ask you a question. Why is it so hard to stick to new habits? Why is it so hard to crush your goals? If you were to ask me a year ago, I would answer that the reason is because you aren't disciplined enough. But that's not true. Literally. Whenever I set a goal to post videos consistently, or I'm gonna start running, I would just force myself to do these things, trying to be as disciplined as possible. But often, I would say I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I would give a bunch of excuses, a bunch of reasons why I can't do it that day. And with a few weeks, I would give up on the goal altogether. And this always led me to feeling regretful, feeling awful about myself. I learned that the reason why I'm not accomplishing these goals isn't because I'm not disciplined enough. It's because I am a completely different person. I'm not somebody who works out. I'm not somebody who makes a video every single day. The reason is not discipline. The reason is I'm not a person who does this. It's not natural for him. So instead of trying to force myself to do something that I felt huge resistance towards, I should have made a goal to become a completely new person, to change my identity, how I see myself, literally. Because that's the key to becoming this completely new person who effortlessly accomplishes your goals. I realized I had to see myself as somebody, for example, who loves to move his body, work out, who finds great joy in that. I'm somebody who loves this physical challenge. I had to make a goal, become this new person, completely change how I view myself. And then all this is going to become normal. This is going to become something that, yeah, like I work out every single week at least 3 times. I love working out. I love moving my body. So, as I said, now working out truly is something that I do. It's a person, I am that type of person. It's a normal thing for me. There's no resistance towards it. I don't have to discipline myself, generally. Okay, sometimes I do, but that's so rare, honestly. Maybe this is mind-blowing to you, but it can become your reality too. If you don't do these action steps, nothing in your life will change. It means you literally learn nothing, in other words. So make sure that you do this. If you do anything in this video, make sure you do these action steps, okay? From this first lesson. So first action step is, think about your goal. You know what it is. So ask yourself, not how can I achieve this? How can I force myself to do it? But ask yourself, what kind of person would easily accomplish this goal? Easily, like 100% that he can accomplish this. And literally become that new person. Now, how are you going to do it? This is the second action step, okay? You want to write a new me document, okay? You can name it that way or however you want it. And you want to make sure that first you put your goal, okay? So write literally what you want to do. You want to make sure that's in your document. That's the first thing. Second, you want to create a desire to actually accomplish this goal. And by reading this every single day, you're going to remind yourself that you really want it. You'll never forget about your goal. You will keep this burning desire in you to actually accomplish this goal. Third, you want to write your new perspectives. You want to think, as I said, think about which person would effortlessly accomplish this goal. The goal is to become that person. So ask yourself, how does this person sees the world? How he thinks, literally. As you might think working out is hard. It takes huge amount of discipline. It's not enjoyable. But how does this new person think? He might think that it's enjoyable, that he loves to do it. He can't wait to do it. That's maybe unrealistic right now, but it can become your reality. And you don't have to write it that way. You can say, he just does it every single day, or he is the type of person who does, even if he doesn't feel like doing that workout. Think how he sees the world, what perspectives he has. And last thing you want to write is your new minimum standards. So these are the things that if you don't do every single day, you honestly feel disgusted and awful about yourself. Work out 3 times a week, for example. That could be a new minimum standard of yours. This is not a goal, okay? Don't confuse this together. This is something that if you don't do, you honestly feel disgusted and just awful about yourself. Like right now, you might don't, but by saying this, that this is your minimum standard every single day, literally repeating these things, this will actually become your minimum standard, and you will actually feel awful in the future if you don't do this. So start literally saying that today, and stick to it, obviously. So now you know which type of person you want to become. You know how you're going to do this by writing this document, following these guidelines. And the last thing is you want to read this document every single day twice. Once in the morning and once at night, literally, before you go to sleep. This is what's going to change your life, honestly, the most. I promise you. As I said, the goal is to become this new person. So for this, actually to make this a new habit, set a minimum standard to read these every single day twice. Make sure that you focus on just reading it. Even if you don't read the whole document 2 times a day, make sure that you are the person who reads this document twice a day. Even if you just get half through in the morning, half through at night at the start. But make sure that you become the person who does this exercise every single day, so that you generally apply this. You can start applying this in every area of your life, whether it's literally your health, your work, your fitness, whatever it is. You can apply this to everything, and it can change your whole life. Now the second lesson. Whenever I set out to record these videos in the past, I would just force myself to do it. Again, relying on this discipline. But often, I would just after a few minutes, I would get a notification, and I would go on my phone, which led me to scroll on TikTok, watch some random YouTube videos, spend time on social media, or whatever it was for half an hour or even more. Obviously, leading me to not doing anything that day or barely any work. Not only that, people around me would often distract me, and also my physical environment as well. It was a complete mess. Nothing was organized, nothing was clean. All these things led me to being way less productive. I realized something powerful through this experience. I realized that it's not about discipline. Again, besides identity, it's about environment that you're in. It's way easier to change my environment so that I work way harder. That's a way easier thing and way better because it's a constant. If I change my environment so it's easy to work hard on my goals, easy to record these videos, for example, and it's hard to procrastinate, that's it. I don't have to change it again. But with willpower and discipline, I have to literally use it every single day to do what I actually said that I'm going to do. Do you see the difference? So before, as I said, I felt frustrated, I didn't do much, I felt awful because I would sometimes do the work, sometimes not. I was very inconsistent, I felt awful, regretful, frustrated. But today I feel awesome because it's easy. Imagine this, it's easy to work hard. It's easy to do what you said you will do. And it's hard to procrastinate. Imagine that. Imagine if your life was completely in reverse. It's hard to not be consistent. It's hard to procrastinate. It's hard to not produce what you said you will do. So, how to do this? How did I apply this? Well, by changing my environment. My phone, all the notifications are turned off. All the calls, I cannot hear them. It's put on this do not disturb mode. I use an app called Freedom, which literally blocks all the websites, all the social medias, games, everything that I'm not going to use during the time I work for both my phone and my PC. So you see how by changing my environment and also my physical environment, easy to work hard, and it's generally hard to procrastinate, hard to not do the work that I said that I'll do. So again, remember, if you don't change anything, nothing is going to change. Do the first action step. That's the most impactful stuff. But the second most difficult is probably your environment, okay? So let's take action on this too, okay? What you want to do is literally change your physical and digital environment. Ask yourself, how can I make my environment so it's as easy to work hard as possible and as hard as possible to procrastinate, to not work on my goals, to not achieve them. If you're working on your desk, any kind of work, literally for physical environment, what you can easily do is, as I said, let some fresh air in, let some natural light in. What you also want to do is literally put your phone away so it's not in your room, as far away from you, so you don't subconsciously grab it and there's hard friction for you to go and pick it up. maybe even putting in a safe if you struggle with not using it. For a digital environment, the most important thing is just turning off all the notifications, putting your phone in do not disturb mode, not having it in your room, and installing an app called Freedom, which you can set up recurring session, meaning it happens again every single day. But at the same time, it blocks everything that you don't use for work. So it can be all social media, apps, games, and whatever else you use on your phone and computer. This way, you'll be way more productive. You'll be way focused on work, and you'll find way greater joy in actually doing the work. By doing this, your productivity is going to skyrocket. And if you have an Android, bonus tip is to install minimalist phone. This is going to help you be way more mindful of how you use your phone. And everybody can do this. Literally use grayscale mode, so your phone is way more boring. Third lesson. Before, at one point in my life, I literally was training so much sports. I was focusing on physical experiences in life, okay? So I would train triathlon, I would train climbing, I would train grappling. This was what my focus on. One day, I came upon this post in this online community that I was, and it asked this profound question that completely changed my life. Honestly, no joke. And it asked, if you could accomplish only one goal in the next 12 months, which single goal would make you the most proud? Now, literally, when I read this, I was like, what? Why am I focusing on this physical experiences in my life? Why am I not building a business? Why am I not focusing on making this world a better place? I would be so much more proud if I were to do that than if I were to complete a triathlon or something like that. I realized that I should prioritize. Before, I had many goals. I would try to do more things, but now I only have 1 to 2 goals in my life. That's it. And this way, it's way easier to accomplish any goal. So you will actually do what you said you will do, and you'll be proud of yourself. You will become a completely different person. To actually do this, remember, if you don't take action, nothing will change. To actually do this, you want to literally think about all the goals you could achieve. Any category, relationships, business, fitness, anything. And ask yourself, if I could accomplish any single goal from all of this, but you can only accomplish one in the next 12 months, which goal would make you the most proud? From all of them, which would make you the most proud, okay? If you do this, you're going to realize that you could literally set one goal that will make you so proud, you would be happy to let all the others go. Literally. You can have 2 goals, sure, but just know that if you have less goals, you have more time and energy to accomplish them. So that's why I recommend you to choose 1 to 2 goals and let the rest go. Let's go to the 4th lesson. When I was training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before, it's a martial art if you don't know, I would at start make huge progress just by coming to training, literally. As with everything, when you just start doing it, you obviously make progress because you don't know anything. It's so easy to make progress. But after a few months, I started making way less progress. Why? Because I made some beginner gains, you could say, and now I actually had to think, okay, what do I actually need to do in order to improve at this sport? I should have actually started reviewing how I've trained, actually thinking, okay, what do I want to improve on? Like being more specific based on where was my weaknesses. If I could improve my weaknesses, I'm going to get the biggest improvement instead of focusing on improving my strengths, because my weaknesses were awful and my strengths weren't that good anyway, so they weren't holding me back. So I realized through this experience that, yeah, this is what I need to do. For example, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you want to choke the guy out. For example, let's say that you want to choke him when you're behind his back. If you cannot get behind his back, it doesn't matter that you know how to choke him out, actually. That doesn't matter because you don't know how to actually get yourself so that you are behind his back. So I should focus on that in that example. This is obviously a hypothetical example, just to give you a point. So for example, in YouTube, instead of me trying to focus my energy and time into editing the video as great as possible, a bunch of edits, fireworks everywhere, I don't know what, I should actually focus probably on making better videos and being consistent. I think that's a constraint. Later, it might change, but I think that's the constraint right now. So that's another example. So that's it for the video. I think this is definitely going to make it so that you achieve all your goals way, way easier. If you actually want to take action on that, just literally ask yourself, what is actually the constraint? What is actually limiting my growth? If it's, for example, you want to actually run the marathon, are you actually consistent? If you are, okay, are you actually improving your technique with running? If you are with that, okay, is my nutrition on point? Am I sleeping enough? This is the constraint. So I hope I helped everybody with all these tips that I mentioned. As I said, identity and environment is the most important things. If you want my personal help and you're an entrepreneur, you want to become more productive, have way better work-life balance, way less stress in your life, then click the link in the description of this video and I'm going to help you with accomplishing that and way more. So I hope I helped everybody with this video and I'll see you in the next one.